In 2014, NBC posted a 6-minute video from Anthrocon where the reporter notes,
"Would you like a hug, sir?"
The hug is the furry handshake.
Movie director Frank Finsterwalder has thoughts about the cultural meaning of touch and how it brings furries together. She directed a German movie, Finsterworld, that features fursuiting in it and was nominated for an Oscar in 2014. As we looked at Germans and how we felt after spending time in other countries, we saw that this is a culture of non-touching and non-contact. Then there came the furry story, and with the furries, it is all about contact. Furry is a phenomenon and has a strong movement in Germany. It isn't too well known, but Germany is one of the largest countries for furries. The largest non-English speaking country, at least. There are thousands meeting at events, dancing with each other, snuggling, and of course hugging. Furry has a tactile quality. Fur reacts more with touch than any other sense, be it sound, smell, or sight. Touch is represented as a basic element of the anthropomorphic concept. It gathers fans around a feeling of a shared experienced sense, the extreme of the active imagination. Fursuiting is one way to express it, with the most personal experience between audience and performer. Outsiders describe fursuiters as sort of human-sized toys with a semiotic approach to meaning. Their costume and body language screams to everyone around them, "Hug me!" Furries worry about their image a lot, more than non-furries even know they exist. They complain that they can't wear a costume in public without being bashed for it. It's sad if photos can create that worry. At a fursuit performance panel at Anthrocon discussing posing for photos, they recommended not to kneel directly behind children, because the angle could let haters make up false accusations in those photos. This sensitivity comes from a culture where touch is discouraged. It leads to oversensitivity. Stereotypes ought to be challenged. That kind of anxiety should not have to take up so much of our worry. It's better to worry less about what other people think of your life and to just live it. It makes hugging a statement. Some strangers will not hug furries, but some find that it's something they really wanted, but couldn't ask for. People's personal space defines meanings, like negative space outlines a shape in a picture. Emptiness between people defines a fear of strangers. Photographer Richard Rinaldi intentionally challenges these personal boundaries. We think these great photographs have something positive to say about human connection, about a diverse society in which people have been taught not to touch each other, but in which we can and do transcend the boundaries set around us. That was said by Chris Boot, the director of Aperture, a non-profit foundation that wanted to publish a book of touching strangers. Fursuit performance has similar art. Suit making boosts it with designed personality, especially when it anticipates how they're going to perform. It sparks humor, awe, and appeal, especially with a wow reaction from someone who's never seen a fursuiter. It's especially effective with street fursuiting. Not all fursuiters give hugs and not everyone wants them, but I think many would agree that's why they do it, or how they got to be furry. How often does regular life let people explore that? The Animal Project is an independent movie from director Ingrid Veninger. Veninger? I don't know. Who cares? Leo, played by Aaron Poole, is a mid-30s widower, single parent, and struggling acting teacher. His relationship with his teenage son Sam, played by Jacob Switzer, is rocky and he's dissatisfied with his everyday life.
I woke up with an idea. Okay, I had a dream. It was about animals. It was about us. What if we completely just obliterate ourselves inside of animal suits?
This might disarm them and force them to connect to something more primal as they face the unpredictable reactions of the public. What do you think? Is hugging a fursuiter a statement? I feel like this tactile sensation also comes from the pets in our lives, since we want to stop and pet the dog or cat at a friend's house or being walked by a neighbor. It's a physical connection not often acceptable amongst civilized folk. How do we change that when we literally embody a fluffy exterior? Or even when we don't? Before we go, don't forget to practice safe hugging. Ask first and don't hug so long as to make it awkward. Keep your paws above the waist. This episode was written by my good friend Patch Ofer over at dogpatch.press back in August 2014. Check out the original article in the description or click here to see his latest posts. I have been your host RK and thanks for watching. Culturally Effed this week was brought to you by these fluffy people and by our sponsors on Patreon. If you like what we do here, the best thing you can do for us is subscribe and share with your friends. If you want to support us in a more tangible way, we have a donate button at the top of our YouTube page and also a Patreon, where patrons get cool perks like priority episode suggestion and early access to our side series all about furries and sex, called Culturally Effed After Dark. If you have an idea for a future episode topic, you can find us online at Culturally Effed on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Furfinity, and Weasel. I have been your host, RK, and thanks for watching.